Hello everyone and welcome back. This is 7.0 upper floor joists. In this exercise we'll add the floor joists to the second story. Make sure you're in the Layouts tab. Quick navigate to border number 4. If your second floor block is not visible, go ahead and turn it on using LT2. This is only going to work correctly if you imported the second floor plan and set it to temporary layer 2. Zoom into the reference point and make sure that your block is lined up with this reference point based off of this corner here where the walls of the first floor meet this reference point. If not, if yours looks more like this, where the roof lines meet up with the reference point, just simply use the move command, select this object, move it from this corner to the reference point itself, and that's how you fix that. Don't move the reference point. Next thing we need to do is create a polyline that traces over the footprint of the balcony. So using polyline, I'm going to go ahead and snap to my endpoints, which are right here and here and here and right here. I'm going to hit enter and hit escape 2 times. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add our, before we do that, let's use the copy view command. I'm going to say CV copy view, select this polyline, and then I'm going to put it here on border number 3. And then hit enter and hit escape 2 times. So now I've copied it from one border to another. Let's quick navigate to border number 3. We're going to initiate this support line command, which is here under structure, under trusses, under layout, SL code support line. Go ahead and click on that. And we're going to select both of these polylines here and hit enter. They should appear as solid orange lines. Now let's configure our joist settings. Type in JSET or navigate through the structure drop-down menu. Let's use the FrameCAD FTI system. Let's use the 350043550 KSI, and then make sure that all of these are set to the same one, 350043550, and same thing with this one here. Member height override, we're going to set this to 1 foot 4 inches. Okay, that's going to represent the height of the floor. All right, so now we're going to navigate down to reduced level. The reduced level is set to 9 foot 4 inches. So we have 8 foot tall walls on the first floor, plus our new 1 foot 4 inch floor joists. That makes the reduced level 9 foot 4 inches. That's the top of the floor system. And for Bearer's method, we're going to select blocking. Internal, we're going to set to blocking. Double, we're going to set to false. Oncoming, we're going to set to true. And go ahead and hit save. Next thing we're going to want to do is add our joists. But before we can add our joists, we need to outline where the staircase will be. So let's go back to border number 4. Let's type in PL, zoom into the staircase, find the endpoints of the staircase, hit enter, escape, escape. Instead of copy view, we'll use move view. We'll select that polyline, and then we'll put it over here in border number 3, enter, escape, escape. Now let's quick navigate to border number 3. I'm going to zoom in on this polyline, and we can see that it's a little short, both here and here. We're going to use the extend command. So let's type in extend. And we're going to extend to this boundary. And then the entities we're going to extend include this line here. All right. And then hit enter. Oops, I did it wrong. Let's try that again. Extend. Select boundary entities for extend. Press enter. And then select entity to extend. It's going to be that one there. Hit enter, escape, escape. Let's reissue that command. Let's select this boundary entity, hit enter, and then hit this line, hit enter, escape, escape. Great. That's perfect. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and use the rectangle command. So let's type in REC. I'm going to snap to this endpoint here, snap to this endpoint over here, enter, escape, escape. Now we're going to use the joist draw command, JD for joist draw, and then we're going to hit enter on a keyboard. We need to select the boundaries of the floor outline, which is why we drew that line. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to select the rectangle and the stair lines right here. Okay, hit enter. Now it's asking us for a set out point. Set out point is going to be the bottom left corner of this rectangle. The direction for the joist, we just need to go straight up. So you can turn ortho on. Move your cursor up. So that way the line goes straight up, and then click once, and then you'll get all of your joists. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of editing to these joists. So let's investigate what this blue one is here. Let's type in LI. LI is your framing list entity or listing item command, and it allows us to select certain components here in our project and check out its properties. So let's type in LI, hit enter, click on JB1, hit enter, and we can see here in their member usage, JB1 is a joist beam. Let's exit out of that, and let's repeat that LI command and just select J2, and under member usage it just says joist. So a joist beam is a joist that supports other joists. That's why it is dignified as a joist beam, and that's why it's blue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start taking away, we're going to delete ST2. We're going to need to move JB1, and we're going to need to snap to its nearest point, and then move to the far left, right there, so that way it surrounds the staircase. Okay, and what that does is now it affects some of these other joists and end bearers and blocking. Now they're a little too short, some are a little too long, so we're going to have to edit those. We can use member extend, ME. We can select our member that we want to extend to, okay, and then the entity we want to extend. So it works in such a way where we can say, make this one longer by clicking it, but we can also say, make this one shorter so it butts up against it. So we can use that same thing here, and down here, and down here, and here. Let's also do it to E1, and then hit enter, escape, escape. Let's do that member extend command one more time, but this time we're going to press Alt, and we're going to click on S1. And what that does is it tells structure that we want to extend all the way to this far side here. And we're going to click on E1, and now it's extended all the way there. Hit enter, escape, escape. ME for member extend. And then we're going to click on E1, and then we're going to click on, actually, I need to break this one first. Let me hit escape a couple times. We're going to perform what's called a member cut, MC for member cut. And I'm going to take this big, long S1 and turn it into two pieces. So I'm going to grab S1, member cut, S1, and then I'm going to snap to this intersection here and hit enter. And now it should be two pieces. See how that's two pieces. And we're going to use member extend. Click on E5. And then I'm going to click on this one here and this one here. And then I'm also, should have done this earlier, member extend, and click on this one there. And now LI, we're going to change E5 to a joist beam. Member usage joist beam, hit amend, because this joist beam is going to be carrying the load of other beams that connect to it. Okay, that's looking good so far. Next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and left click each one of these. And we're going to type in copy. And we're going to snap near on this far right side. And we're going to snap perpendicular to this far right side. Click there, enter, escape, escape. Member extend. I'm going to select this stick and then select E4, I4, I4, and E4 down here. And hit enter, escape, escape. Now that's all cleaned up. All that's left to do is to make our joist beams for the area in the balcony. So let's go ahead and take care of the balcony now. Gonna go down to the balcony, and we're gonna type in we're gonna do a rectangle in this area, REC, and we're gonna do it from here to here. Now we're gonna say JD for joist draw. I'm gonna select this rectangle and hit enter. The setup point. What I want to do is I want the setup point to come from one of the midpoints of one of these studs from the joist. So I need to make sure that midpoint is on. I'm going to snap to this midpoint here, and then I'm going to turn ortho on and go straight down. And then it's going to create all of these joists just like this. Okay, and now all that's left to do is we're going to delete a few of these. And I'm going to member extend to S4. Actually, I'm going to hit escape. Let's do member extend. I'm going to hold alt. Do I want to hold alt? Yeah, let's hold alt and click on S4, and then click on E9. Enter, escape, escape. Reissue that member extend. Hold alt, S4, E9, enter, escape, escape. Reissue member extend, E9, and then we're going to shorten all of these. Okay, we're going to do LI. I'm going to make this a joist beam. Member usage, joist beam, amend. Okay, and then ME, member extend, take that guy and that guy right there, just like that. Okay, now those are all perfectly clean. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to use a command called LA label all. I'm going to select all of these. You can make a big selection window or just hit enter. Okay, now they're all labeled or they're relabeled. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do here is let's do J3D. So let's type in J3D, hit enter. And now not only do we have our floors, but we also have our joists. These are our trusses, and they look a little different than the floors and the walls, but don't worry about that. We'll get to that later. Let's navigate towards the front. Go ahead and take a screenshot of your 3D model just like that. Go to layouts and take a screenshot of your joists here as well. And make sure you save your file. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.